What is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm not even sure if the mic's working. I'm coming over here. Hello? Yeah, I'm just going to message you and let you know I started live streaming.
Oh, sorry.
No?
I just want to tell you something really cute.
Yeah, go on.
You know what Leo's like when you don't want him mechanical and he's just normally like, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But Leo was like,
Yeah.
so upset.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he really cried. And then Leo felt bad and then they gave each other.
Oh, those guys are so cute. Yeah, I'm streaming, babe. So if I'm not responding, if I'm not responding, that'll be why. Bye, Bubs. Love you too. Bye. Well, that's a great start, isn't it? I'm not sure if this mic's work. Is this mic working? If it is, it's probably just broken everybody's ears. Is this mic working? Is this mic work? Yeah, I think that's working, isn't it? Let's have a little look, see if we've got any controls. No, we can just mute it. Right. I'm gonna get the stream up on my. I promise. I'm actually. Oh, Team Revolt has uploaded a video of the Team Revolt Mantis on razor wires. I'm definitely going to want to have a look at that. Right, we're just getting the live up, guys. Oh, that sounds really nice. Let's turn that off so we don't end up with an eternal loop of stuff. Right, we've got power to the camera. We've got power to the people. We haven't got power to the people, have we? Let's be honest. Right, we're going to put that there. Your chat and stuff is going to go there. I need to work out something to put around my neck. Not a rope. What can I put around my neck to hang the camera audio on? I could probably do a few zip ties, but if Neo comes in and sees me with zip ties around my neck, what kind of a message am I sending him? How is everybody? Welcome to the stream. We are going to be taking the lower links and putting them onto the upper for Spidey. I'm just gonna do the mic thing, guys. Look, put that there. Hopefully you can still hear me. So yeah, we're going to be taking Spidey's lowers and turning those into uppers, which, to be fair, is pretty much already done. I hope this is comfortable. My goodness, how big is my neck? Used like 4 zip ties for this. I've got nothing to fix it to because it's hot as balls. So I'm not wearing a t-shirt. Too much information, I'm sure. This was a terrible idea. I'm not using zip ties. What am I going to do? I need decent audio, right? What am I going to do? We are going to be dragging Spidey into shot. Oh, have I got a shot of the shot? There we are. Right, so Spidey at the moment is wearing his old lowers as uppers, and we're going to be fitting in here some new brass lowers. So we'll be adding a tiny little bit of weight to the back. We're going to be switching out his rear drive shaft because it's not quite long enough, and we're going to be fabricating him some links with this 6mm brass. And I say 6mm with great confidence. Yeah, it is 6mm. Right. First things first, though, just so that we've actually got some decent audio. I'm going to clip this on my glasses, guys. Can you... Oh, wrong glasses. We need the engineering glasses for this. This is my super zoom glasses. Right. Can somebody in the chat please tell me... That like that. Right. That's what I'm thinking is going to be the configuration for the mic. I've just put my little clip-on lavalier on my engineering glasses. Please let me know if that is good enough. And occasionally I'll be going over to the desk here. I think we measured it up last night and we want 150, and that was either eye to eye or it was full length. So I'm just gonna wiggle up a measuring stick in. Right, it looks like about I think we want about 155, but we're going to make some small adjustments. Let's call it 154 and 34 millimeters for our rod ends. So we need 120, don't we? I'm pretty sure that number sounds about right. And it doesn't matter if we make them slightly long, which is the side I'm leaning on, because we can always nibble a bit off. Spidey's an awesome build. Thank you very much, Pro Raptor. How are you today? Spidey has definitely a soft spot in my heart because Spidey's my first proper parts build. I tore a lot of vehicles apart and rebuilt them, but Spidey was my first actual build. Yeah, selected from parts, and he is the ship of Theseus a little bit because, or what's it? Of Only Fools and Horses, Trigger's broom, because most of the parts that were in the original build, a lot of the parts from the original build are no longer in the build. We've still got the same Mears axles, the Mears nylon portals, and we're still running the Yippin AK 70 kg servo. All the parts are listed below if anybody wants to build a Spidey. But yeah, lots of the other parts. Let's take the tail stock off for the moment. Right, we want 120. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a repeatable measurement on here. Right, so let's pull out 120. I switched to Mears LCG in my Gold Rush after seeing your build. Yeah, do you know what? I was out with Spidey. I put a video live last night, a little bit later than I wanted to, but nonetheless, up it went, and super chuffed, really chuffed. Absolutely loved driving Spidey yesterday. Yeah, couldn't have been happier, and a lot of that is to do with that gearbox swap. Yeah, I could really could not be happier with how that's gone, and I'm super glad that you've had a go and you've had a positive experience. The last thing I would want is for somebody to go away from one of my videos and buy something and then be like, what the hell have I done here? Which is why I'm very, very careful about what parts I recommend. I'm sorry if the audio's a little bit cack when I've got the lathe going, but we kind of need to do lathe stuff in this video, so that is what it is. I may have a little look to see if we could find a slightly different situation for this. Right, so this will be 120. What we're going to do, because we need two identical-ish pieces, we're going to still learning the lathe, guys. Got a lot to learn still, but luckily I've got some good mates that are far more knowledgeable than me. Are you running the stock pinion that you got with it? Is a question I will ask. I think it comes with a 9-tooth, doesn't it? Yeah, just out of curiosity. Wow, 120 mil kind of has us at the limits of what we're capable of doing on this little, like doing a cut where I'm doing it, kind of has us at the limits. Right, this is all locked down. We've oiled, we've pinched, this is safe. We've got our repeat cut measurement stick, which we're just using a center drill there just to do that. So let's start the cut. We're not going to get both out of this one piece of brass that I'm using. We might get a bit of chattering because the idler gear on the lathe is running on a bushing, and it has seen better days. And I need to remount the mini lathe here. She doesn't like it. So just while I'm doing this, has anybody seen the new Endura kit? While I'm working on a Mias build, let's talk about that. Endura just dropped an LCG gearbox version and an FMM version of a it's like an SX10-2 kit, I want to say. Ryan from one of the popular RC channels, RC Fun and Games, is it? He has just posted about the said kit. And we get a look at the chassis, but maybe he doesn't have all the parts for the build yet. So we didn't, alas, we didn't get to see any further content with it. But that's something I'm interested in, and it's very competitively priced. So to repeat, and sorry if I'm teaching anyone to suck eggs, but I just learned this. So to repeat the length, all we do is we go up until we touch the center drill. Just hold it in place and give it a little pinch down, and boom, there we go. That's going to be exactly 120 mil or close enough, but it will be identical to the last cut we made, so that's great. Yeah, that new Endura kit, they've actually got it packaged the way I think Mias should have theirs. So I think Mias could have the forward motor mount version and the LCG version listed separately. They may have their reasons for not doing it that way. But I think if they did the mere skull brush chassis as an option with the LCG gearbox, if I was buying another one, that would be the one that I would choose. Oh, excuse me a sec, guys. Excuse me a sec. Our door's going. It might be a delivery. Christmas every day. Hello? Hi, darling. No, it's not Christmas every day. It was a neighbour not able to get in. But now we've done our little bit for the neighbourhood. We got a security gated front door with a buzzer on it, and the lady neighbour is having trouble with her young, and he won't let her in. She's popped out to do something, and he's like, "No, mummy, you can't come in." Right. So there we go. We're just going to confirm it. Nobody's seen the new Endura kit. Nobody wants to talk about it. Either way. Either or. Right. 119.9. $119.97. Oh no. We had a bit of. Oh yeah, there's a little swarthy piece, just a tiny little nipple on the end, and that'll be the difference between them. But as long as we're within sort of 1/10 of a millimetre, and we are, that is going to be all we need. So let's just take this out, because I like to put a chamfer on them. Actually, I'm probably not on this, because we're going into 6mm. We're going into 6mm rod ends, and this is 6mm brass rod. So I don't think. Oh come on! I'm being lazy. I'm trying not to take the tailstock off. Lazy or efficient? It's one of those. So there we go. I'm just going to go put this in my brass stock. There we go. Do you know, I spent hours and hours last night looking for a Delrin set that I had that I thought would be the right length for this. And I think what we're going to do is we're almost definitely going to, yeah, the eye can barely perceive the difference between them, but we are going to snip them down ever so slightly. What was I saying? We were talking about the Endura, weren't we? The new Endura LCG kit. Is that what we was talking about? Come on, brain. When it gets hot like this, and when I haven't had enough coffee or sleep, this kind of thing can be a thing. Right, I'll take that down. So we want to just touch the end of this. That right there, that is going to be enough. Okay, make sure we've got a hold of it properly. Let's get that back in there. Everything's clean. Right, here we go. So we're literally just facing off that part. Yeah. I don't want to take that off. What's everybody up to today? Do you know what? I've got to be honest, I didn't think there would be anybody in the stream at all, because I figured it's a beautiful day. although it might be hot, it might be too hot in certain parts of the country. Right, this is 119.9. And this is 119 point, close enough, 86. It's 0.04 of a millimetre. Now, if we was engineering for a shuttle or part for the space station or something like that, I'd say we probably needed to nibble 0.6 of a millimetre, 0.06 of a millimetre off of there, but we're not, so we don't. So we are going to be putting M3. So we're going to be putting M3 carbon steel, M3 carbon steel set screws in. So we're just going to put a tiny little dent in for a 3.5 millimetre bit. So that's a 2.5. That's a 2.3. That's the other 2.3. This must be the 2.5. 235. What? What madness is this? I'm sure one of these is 2.5. 2.36. So that's the largest so far. I'm sure it's this one. No, 2.3. Yeah. Okay, so this one closest to me is the longest. So we'll be using that, and we're using a 3mm tap. And that is going to get us where we want to be for the holes for the tap. So yeah, we're going in with a 2.3, almost a 2.4 bit. You're recommended to use a 2.3, but I like to use something around 2.4, 2.5. Right, everything's safe, except I didn't tighten up the centering bit. So let's do that quickly. This definitely would not be the place that you'd come to learn anything about the practical side of lathe work, engineering, etc. I make beautiful parts which are available. I do a few different sets. I do them for the TRX4 and the UTB18, and I could always make custom sets if people put the order in for them. But yeah, I am I'm not even sure I would say novice machinist. I am very new to machining. I've been around engineering in many forms for a long time. Oh, what happened there? Did you guys see that? I think what's happening is I think one side of the centering bit is still sharp and the other side is not. And then as a result, sometimes when it bites on the part, it tends to wander slightly, which is a shame because the whole point of the centering bit is for it to not wander around. So it may be time for me to have a go at sharpening that, or just purchase some new ones until I get used to sharpening those. It's not something I've had to do yet. Right, let's put a tiny little bit of oil on. How is everything, guys? The audio and everything okay? It looks like it's lit fairly well. And Spidey looks like he's a long way in the background. Like the camera's pretty close. But Spidey looks like he's a million miles away. Anyway, let's get this hole drilled. We want to go down. So I use M3 by 16. Let's grab those out. Right, we got 2 of those. That'll get us going. I use M3 by 16 set screws, and we want around 8mm of engagement. So what I tend to do is I tend to take this in 10mm. So let's get that done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can have a little peck there. So if you're not familiar with the term pecking, it's where you just pull your tool out, put a little bit of lubrication on it, and then put it back in. I'm sure we've all been there, left. Right, so we're going to go 1 full in, and there we go. That should be a 10mm hole. And I think while we've got the piece in the chuck, we are just going to throw on. So if you haven't seen me do this before, we put in that M3. We put. I wonder if my chat. I'm sorry if I've been missing comments. No, it's okay. So yeah, sometimes my chat fails to function, and I end up not responding. Right, so we just pop a little bit of lube on the tap. Just wind the other tool out of the way, and this is pinch tight so that if we do hit the bottom of the hole, this will rotate inside there and not snap. He says, like, that's the plan. So it worked exactly as I wanted it to. We are at the bottom of the hole. We haven't stripped the thread out, and the tap rotated when it hit the bottom. Yeah, so now we'll flip it out. I'm not sure if I should be rotating in the other link to save time here. I tend to work on one link and then get the other link in. So in terms of efficiency, time efficiency, which isn't super problematic on a Sunday, I look after my son in the morning for my partner, so I have him till 1 o'clock on a Sunday, so she can have a bit of a chill or lay in and do whatever she wants, and then she has Neo from 1 o'clock until 6, and then we co-parent for the last little bit of the day, and that works really well. She gets the rest, I get a rest. Do you know what though? I can't remember why I was telling you that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, we only went in 7mm that time before she started to complain. And when she starts to complain, just lube her up again. And right, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So that's the second hole drilled. I'm really looking forward. I hadn't realised that, and I'm not quite sure how it happened, but I was running. Didn't want to. Don't know why I undid that. Brain's not working properly. Um, yeah, when I built Spidey, I'm not quite sure if I had a wheelbase in mind, like a specific wheelbase, but I'm sure I was aiming around 325. And I have made some changes, like we did the chassis swap. We went from the cheap Amazon chassis and we switched over to the Mias Gold Rush. I'm not sure if something during the changes made things different, but I checked it the other day and Spidey was definitely around the 315. And that was never my intention, which is why the title of the video, we stopped perfectly like that, just touched the end. Reminds me of a video, isn't that in Madagascar when the ship reaches the shore, it just kisses the shore or a coconut tree or something. So that's one link made. Yeah, so Spidey, I fully intend to have Spidey. Hello, Big Mike's RC. Thank you for joining us. I fully intend Spidey to be 330 millimeters wheelbase, and he always was intended to be like 325, 330. But apparently, that's not what we did. Right, I'm just grabbing some links. Right, what have we got? Are these? Just making sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. These are 4mm. Where's my little box? There they are. So I've got a box over here of various links. For the TRX4 links that I make, those are the TRX4 links rod ends. And for anything with 3mm, like the UTB18 links that I do, these are all made with these guys here. And I think they are going to be perfect for this application. So let's get some of those out. Put this back over and make sure I lock the lid down, because if I don't, my son will come in here and have a little look in that box, and that'll be that. How you doing, Mike? How's your day going? Where are you? It's warm. It is warm. Like, I've got the fan on. I hope the fan isn't annoying, by the way. I've got the fan on, stirring the air in here. But it is that warm. Right, let's get the Ugga Dugga. And so what I do, I don't take that one. I take this one. So this is my 1.5. And it looks like we're going handheld for these. Let's get this in. And so it's into the plastic with this. And when you undo these on the brass, the set screw, I don't think these are deep enough. This is quite a shallow shouldered doohickey. I don't think that is going to screw all the way down. No, it's not. We're like about 1 millimeter shy because of how short these are. But what we're going to do is we're going to be okay with that for a minute, because this one is going to get offered in as a test link. So, I mean, I could grind like 1.5 millimeters off of the set screws, and then they'd be absolutely fine. but I would rather just add a bit of engagement to the brass. So we are going to have to put that back in the lathe, and we're going to whiz another 0.5 millimetre. Well, no, we're going to put another millimetre of depth in each of the holes. Sorry guys, I'm just looking for something. I end up smashing my fingers. So I'll just screw that down until it starts to feel snug. You can come unstuck if you crank on these too hard. It locks the pivot ball up, or on these bent links it can push the link over. Oh, that's really annoying. I wonder if we've just got a bit of swarf. Maybe we've just got a bit of swarf in this one. I'm gonna have a little look. Oh, we did get a little bit out. Usually when I go in with these, this is a baby bottle straw. That hole does feel shallow. I like my holes like I like my women. Shallow. Obviously. I think I have just gone ever so slightly too shallow with that. How did that happen, chat? How did that happen? Yeah. Alright, so we don't, like, from a structural integrity point of view, we don't need the extra depth, because we would have, as long as you've got like 6 mil minimum of engagement on your set screw, you're going to have enough. which was the shallow side? Right, I think it's the other side. Yeah, it is. Damn. Hell am I doing? Right, so we're gonna chuck the piece back in there. I wonder if that's where that saying came from, or that phrase, chuck it in the doohickey. Just finished my Mears Gold Rush after seeing yours. Had to get one. Oh, that's fantastic, Mike. You've just finished the build. Anything relating to my channel that you feel that I could have done better? Do you feel that I gave you all of the information that you would have liked before getting it? Was there any surprises in there you feel like I could have brought to your attention, or you just sort of generally happy with the outcome of it all? Always interested to get feedback, and thank you for letting me know that you got one after seeing a video that I'd made. It's always nice to hear that. I genuinely only really, unless it's like a sponsored video and I say in the video the opinions might not be on my own, this is the sponsored content or whatever, like that's the only time you might find the manufacturer's opinion in a video. If they've given me like a sponsored read or whatever, that's when that happens. But the rest of the time, you are getting my unfiltered, sometimes smutty-minded opinion about RC stuff, RC products, etc. Let's get a bit of lube on the tool. Right. That just started to rotate. I think we got it. I think you did a great job at info on the build. Thank you very much, Mike. Like if I'm ever asking for feedback, I want you guys to really be straight with me. Like I can take it, and I am, like, I'm here for myself and my family, but I am also here for you guys. So if there is anything you think I should be doing differently or better, I am all ears. But thank you, Mike. Very kind of you to say so. I don't really get to meet people, so I'm kind of glad that I've done the lives, because otherwise I don't really get to meet you. I just do the video. Some people will comment, some people won't, and then quite often the video goes out, it will get some likes, maybe the odd comments. You know, sometimes people will say, oh, I'm going to get one of these, but more often than not, they'll just say nice video, and then, you know, weeks later they're like, do you know what, I remember seeing that video, I'm going to get one of them. Right, have we gone deep enough? I'm not sure if I'm in the right end here. I'm like with my missus, she lets me know. Hello, Sprocky. Yo, 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 guys and gals. Yeah, we're good. Oh, that's lovely. Right, so a little pinch. I know from taking links off, I'm not polishing these, guys. These are for me. Like when I do the special sets for TRX4s or whatever, yeah, I polish these. Let me grab a set. So this is a set that are ready to go out to a customer. We're still working on packaging, but this is how it comes. It comes like in a beautiful box with sweeties in it. As you can see, I've had my fingers on these. There's a couple of fingerprints, but yeah, absolutely beautiful. Like jewellery for your RC car. That's the set for a TRX4 Defender. It'll fit the Bronco as well. If anybody's interested, 65 quid a set posted in the UK, or 65 quid plus postage anywhere else. Sorry, £60 plus postage anywhere else in the world. So I absorb a fiver of the cost to go anywhere else in the world. And I'm sorry if you guys think I should be supporting the UK guys as much as I am, but I'm just trying to make it easier for people outside of the UK to do it. And you know what, if you guys are that hard up for a fiver, just scream at me and I'm sure we can sort something out. Right, so I haven't yet worked out how we transition from the lathe part of this video to the next bit. So you might have to bear with me for that bit. So we have chopped up our part. Yeah, I'm not polishing these. I'm just not. Sorry guys, if anybody feels let down. You guys get the absolute bling links, and I'll just use them straight off the lathe. I mean, I might buff them slightly, but we're not doing the whole polish business. What are you up to today, Sprocky? Thank you for commenting on the last video, by the way. I appreciate that. I do appreciate you, each and one and all. No, wrong one. I'm really pleased with that. Now, I have a feeling these rod ends are slightly, not rod ends, these hollow balls. Nah, 733, they're going to be lovely. This is almost going to be like I know what I'm doing. Oh, they're going to be perfect. I'm hovering over whether to buy the Mias ISO Kinetic H10 axles for a build. What am I looking for that? Has anybody seen those yet? I don't know what chassis I would build into, but they you may see those at some point. That is definitely a possibility. Just chilling, mate, with a B something hot. I don't know why it's actually with a beer. I'm slowly working on like a better streaming setup so that I can read your comments better and all that beer. Yeah, cool. It is definitely beer weather. I'm not like a regular drinker, but I had a Corona the other day. Why have I don't need to undo that. I had a Corona the other day when it was really hot. My goodness, I can see how people get drunk a lot in the summer. It did not touch the sides. A bit like my ex, actually. That didn't touch the sides either. Right, so we're just going to replicate, is that the word I'm looking for? We are going to repeat what we did with that other link set. Get a little bit of lube on our tool. I don't want to take too much out of these. When she starts complaining, it's time to pull your tool out and put a bit more lube on it. So that's what we do. I can't remember, it was one of my engineering tutors said when you're machining, it's always talking to you. You just got to be listening. So I remembered that. Ooh, looks like we had a bit of drill chuck slippage. Yeah, we did. So I thought I was in further. Story of my life, chaps. I thought I was in further than I was. A bird said to me once, "You've got a small organ." I said, "Well, I'm sorry, love. I'm not used to playing in such big venues." There we go. Right. Don't turn it off with the piece in. Right. Yeah, we're gonna thread this end before we do it. This is going pretty well. We are getting a little bit quicker at making links. Hopefully we're getting better at making links as well. The quality is already very good. Right, we are gonna getting good at that. I have the low set to quite low RPM so that when it meets the end of the hole, or when I get near the end of the cut on the thread, I just switch it off. Usually we're done in perfect timing to not strip the thread out or snap the tap. There we go. Snap the tap. Right, so let's get that out of there, and we'll make a rod end up because I didn't measure this time. Sorry if the audio's bad when I do that. I didn't measure this time. I just went by the look of the drill bit. You know, I looked down and if it looked like it was in far enough. The innuendo possibilities are numerous, aren't they? Right, let's put that down, which kind of suits me. My missus loves a bit of innuendo or innuendo. Make the most of that. Right, so you'll just went slightly off centre. Doesn't matter if you're slightly off centre at the beginning. As you screw the set screw in, it will usually pull itself straight. But I do everything I can to get it going in straight from the beginning. because, you know, I want these to be the best they can be, not just these, but anything that leaves here for a customer. One of the reasons I use this setup, I'm not sure if that's too close, guys, hopefully that's focusing, is we get a perfect transition. So let me grab, so when you're using that kind of a link with the hex adapter, like with the hex built into it, that is a hang point. So I hate these type of links. All of the links that I use have this lovely flat round transition. So this is for 7mm, and the ones that I'm using are for 6mm. Yeah, and that is just what we wanted. So that's a good one. Let's cut this down. I'll tell you what we do. And not just for you guys, but whenever I'm building anything, we need to confirm that we have gone and made 2 links that are exactly the same length, because otherwise your rig will drive wonky. So if you haven't got one of these, you need one. And this isn't something I've got an affiliate link for, so I'm not just trying to sell you something. We're not just trying to sell you stuff here. But even more so with this is a shock duplicator. So it's for building shocks, and it slides. And when you've built your shocks, you can push it down. And as it rises, if one side is stiffer from the other, it moves as well as having a little gauge down here that you can make sure they're both the same length. So what we do is we use it for measuring links as well. So when I've built a pair of links, I put it on here, and if it goes all the way down to 0, we know we've got 2 exactly the same links. Like, you can do it with a set of calipers, but it's just not as accurate. So that shock duplicator is about 13 UK pounds. Might be one of my favourite RC tools ever. And I use it all of the time because I'm always building shocks and links. So might be the best £13.95, I think it is. I'm not sure if I paid postage as well, but even if if that was 20 quid, I would just buy it. So yeah, I'm just checking to make sure that both these links are going in the other end. So let's put those over there ready. Let's chuck this back in the lathe, and we'll get the other end done. What's that Endura, that new Endura chassis, going to be like? It looks like it's made out of a decent gauge of. I'm going to have to get a better setup for the mic. It's really irritating me. I've got it hanging off of my glasses, look, and it's all right, but it is a bit annoying. Right, is that going to be better? Let's try that. Oh no, that's not better. That is definitely suboptimal. We're going to crack on with it now. Yeah, I did that. Right, so we want to drill bit in. I have nothing to gain from doing a comparison, and I'm at the risk of pissing off Mias or Endura if I do a versus, this versus that. But I think I'm very, very tempted. And it might be like, for having the grace of those companies, it might be a bad idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, okay, when she makes that much squeaking, we pull our tool out and reload. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be at the risk of pissing off either Mias or Endura, or possibly both companies, by doing a versus. I'm sure there will be some stuff about the Endura build that is better. We've had bit slippage again. Let's just pull that back out and do that up correctly. Yeah, I'm sure there's some stuff like it can't be a clear mic drop for one of them. I mean, it could be. It really could be. I can't imagine one of those companies, like Neos and Endura, have been doing some great stuff. I can't lie, I love the Mears isokinetic axles. I'm building, my Hulk build is in the Endura Capra cage. I've got loads, look, on the wall there, we've got tons of Endura tyres, which I think offer an incredible product at great value. And I can't imagine one of them would be dropping the ball in any meaningful way, but it's possible, isn't it? It's possible. So I think doing that video definitely puts me at risk of upsetting one of them, but you know, I'm not here for them. I'm here for me, and I'm here for you. So if that's the case, so be it. Well, we definitely went a bit deeper this time, so we are not going to have any worries about that bottoming out the set screw now. That is not going to be a problem. Right, I need to start thinking about where I'm going to put the camera. What is that? It just got tight there for a sec. Yeah, I'm just going to have to think in a minute where I'm going to put the camera when I sit at the table, because I'm in full man boob regalia. Yeah, I mean, I'm working in boxer shorts. It's so hot. Don't judge me. I'm working in boxer shorts and but I've got my man boobs out, so nobody needs to see that. I always think to myself, is that Crawler Canyon guy, is he a naturist? is that why we never see him on camera? He's walking around in the nod. But I guess if you guys have been to the canyon, you'd know better than me. Right, so we'll get these links tied up, and we'll whack them on the shock duplicator live on the internet for you guys, and we'll find out whether I'm any good at this. I mean, quite often I do have to make adjustments, and I haven't got to be perfect. We're woodworking, you know, for the sake of stealing an analogy that the doc over at the Canon uses. We are woodworking to a degree here. They need to be close enough, and close enough for me might be a lot closer than it is for other people. Oh, I tell you what, these are at the upper echelons, the upper limits of this shock duplicator tool. It says you can go just above 150, and these are, so that is going to have to be good enough. We are, see if I can show you, we are close enough. I'm looking at all of the cameras, so that little pip down there needs to be on 0, and it is near enough. There could be ever so slight deviation. Oh, there we go. That wasn't all the way down. Oh, guys, please let me. Can you see that? I'm not sure if you can see it clear enough. It couldn't be. Maybe that way? It couldn't be any closer to being on. And when I make a set for you guys, I'm even more careful. So let's extract those. So if any of you have got a UTB-18 or a TRX4, we've already got those sizes worked out. So there's a pair of beautiful 6mm brass links with zero transition between the link and the rod ends. These are a super tough nylon rod end with 3.35, 7.35 hollow balls. They're tight enough to not have a ton of play in, and they're nice and loose, so you get good flex without any restrictions. Now the difficult bit will be transitioning from the camera being where it is. So this could be fun, guys, or it could be shocking. So I think I need to unattach you guys from there. Then I need to put up my boom arm, just so you know what I'm doing. Look. So this arm here, that's what I'm moving. And by the way, there's Yeti with a Vitavon gearbox in, and down there that's the Enduro Capra cage with the full fat Mios isokinetic Capra axles. Right, this is not going to be easy to do. I don't know how Mr. C from the Canyon hasn't put himself in the video accidentally yet. And maybe he has and I just missed it, but yeah, let's right. So we're going to tweak it, guys. If it's not looking great at the minute, don't you worry, we're going to fix that. But first of all, I need to do a bit of cable management. We're still good. We're looking at a little tub of stuff, which isn't optimal, is it? We might need to back the camera up a little bit. I've put it all the way in there. Right, how are we doing? I haven't got a live feed here, guys. I've only got the feed that you've got. We're getting there. We can almost see the truck. Oh, I've got a live. The computer is a live feed. Oh, there's a lovely shot of one of my rags. Great job there, Dwight. So let's move that up a little bit. We're going to move the fan so it's shooting straight up my legs. We're going to get the office, my editing chair over. Right, how are we looking? There's Venom there, guys. If you haven't already, and if you have, thank you. But if you haven't already, please have a go in the raffle. It's a great way to support the channel, and you can get yourself a chance of winning that epic vehicle at the back there. Right, I'm not sure if I'm going to be man boobing myself, but we're going to find out. Let's get you over there. I've got the links. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I'm going to need. I'm probably going to need the link, shock plier, tools. We're going to need that for the Ugga Dugger potentially. Let's have a look. Oh, I've just noticed I've got another light on in here that I don't need on. So let's turn that off. Do a bit for the environment and all that. Right, we need chat, don't we? How are we doing? Did everybody leave during the transition? Yes. Right. Am I man boobing myself? This is the question that begs answering. The internet is on its on the edge of its seat, waiting to find out if I'm going to man boob myself. So if you're interested, we have got another build coming up with this Surpass crawler motor. How many kV did I go? 1850 kV. And let's get my glasses out the way. And I've just seen the AC over behind me and a cheap AC. So I'm going to be reviewing a super cheap motor and ESC setup for you guys, and we're going to find out what that is. And if you're wondering why I've got all of these batteries and little battery connectors over, that is because the batteries wouldn't be here, would they? Where are they? What are they? Oh, they're there. Right, yeah, I've just switched Yeti over. Oh, there's not one in there anyway. It must be in Yeti. No, I wouldn't have left it in him. All right, well, so there's a battery called the Bolt X, and I've just switched Yeti over to using the Bolt X batteries from Hobby King. Hobby King actually reached out to me. I didn't speak to them. They reached out to me. Just getting rid of the charger because it's a bit chaotic up here. I don't like working in a messy environment. It's what I love. Absolutely love that channel 24 Yep. He does mainly SCX 24 content, but his bench, oh my goodness. Mine gets like it a lot. But I get to the point where I'm like, I just can't. Right. We've had a little bit of a tidy up. That'll do. What I was hoping I could do was reduce the chances of man boobing myself on the internet and move that over. Yeah, that's gonna be better, isn't it? Let's have a look at that looks fantastic. Good job, Dwight. You should do this, you know. You're so good at it. Is nobody talking? Which is fine. Yeah. Just checking the internet. Oh, this might be interesting for you guys as well. Sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit while we get to the next section of this. I've just worked out how to do cruise control on this. You enable something in the menu, and then you hold that down for 3 seconds. Gonna look for another smaller profile gearbox. I've got one of them Amazon ones. It takes up too much room. What's it for, Sprocky? Yeah, you hold that down for 3 seconds and it puts it in cruise control, and then you either push backwards and so everybody's been saying for ages that you can't do cruise control on the hot racing or Mias RC transmitters. Yeah, you can. Oh yes, you can. Yeah, what gearbox? What build? What gearbox? Give me all the infos. Because the gearbox in this, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, I've got a bit of indigestion. I haven't drunk any water for about 2 hours, so I need to grab my water over. Got to stay hydrated when it's like this. So, you know, heart attacks go through the roof when the weather's like this. And I was talking to a paramedic, and he said most of them were avoidable if they were hydrated. Being dehydrated is killing people, guys. I mean, obviously, if you run out of water, that's not good, but what are the chances? Who knew? Did you guys know? I didn't know. And if you knew, why didn't you tell me? All right, let's put this over here where I can see it. I'm going to be in that paradox again where I can see what I'm doing in front of me because I've got the right glasses on, but that's too far away. Water. Right, just having a drink. Cheers, guys. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Well, I can tell. I think you use more fluids when you're tired as well. Where did this really long screw come from? It's fallen out of the skid, isn't it? That's one of those. Oh, now the other side's fell over, so I didn't actually achieve anything. For the 3D printed 110 Capra around, for the 110 cage is all around the SCX-10.2 stuff. Gathering, it's my first build. Right. SCX-10.2. On the Mias website, that low profile gearbox that they've got in their new SCX-10 carbon chassis build, that has got a low profile gearbox in it with really good reduction, 11.6 to 1 or something like that. And so I've just noticed I've got really dirty slider. And it's designed for the SCX-10 too. So that might be exactly what you were looking for. Right, so that'll be that one, and that'll be that. So it's going to go in there. That the angle on these might be too extreme. Yeah, I think this angle is more suited to like a Capra axle, but I think if we shorten the throw, yeah, I think we're going to be fine. Absolutely fine. So let's get that in there. Now we can switch over to Ugga Dugga. That'll make life a little bit smoother. We need to take, oh no, 7's about right. 7's a beautiful. Now, I figured I would probably have to remake the uppers. We have, if you can see in there, we've just switched the lowers that were on there to the upper position in the hope that we could get away with it. But if we can't, that's fine. Worst things have happened at sea. Right. Yeah, I don't. Is that throwing the pin? Oh, do you know what? If this has worked, I mean, there was. It's not a complete accident. Let's turn this over. It's going to be easier. If this, oh, look at that. They look sexy. If we haven't really lucked into it, but if we've got this without having to fabricate uppers, how amazing would that be? Now, depending on the front to rear weight bias, we may be adding some portal brass if we need a bit more in the back. But if we were to need a bit less in the back, what was I going to say? Yeah, if we needed a bit less, I could switch the stainless steel out for Delrin. I'm right up for making a set of Delrin uppers. Like, you wouldn't have to ask me twice. I would gladly fire a set of Delrin ones up. Do you know what, guys? Whoop. I'm not sorry. I'm looking at it myself, and I'm not really putting it in the shot for you guys. So they look really, really good. They're going to be compressed up like that. That looks good, you know. But if you've spotted something there that others might not have done, that's without the benzene, which is going to bring that pinion in a little bit. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the compressed wheelbase. Let's see what we've got. So there we go. We are at 325. So I think because I've used quite an extreme angled rod end, we haven't quite got the length that we were hoping for. But to remain legal for class 2, I think the pumpkin needs to be in inside the chassis rails at ride height. So let's see. So I'll take a look. As I'm 3D printing some figure to put in it. I can't wait to see it, Sprocky. Is there going to be anywhere we can have a look at the finished article once you've got it up and running? I'm just sliding over to the drawers, guys. I'm going to get my drive shaft bin. Is that it? Is that right? That ain't it. That's springs. That's wing and pinion. And that's servo mounting. It's always the last one you grab, isn't it? So I got this was at the front of the drawer, and I moved it out of the way. Right, I think that would be the kiddie. Yeah, it's going to be. Right, and we need at least one screw. Yeah, I think that would be the one. Or maybe like you could fit an OD3 in it. I've got an OD3. Where have I got an OD3? Where have I got an OD3? Oh, I've got an OD3. You could win yourself an OD3. Yeah, there's an OD3 in denim there. He is running one of those. And a nice simple little gearbox, underdrive built in, I think. Yeah, might be just what you were looking for. Right, so before I forget, let's put those in there. So if you've been interested in any of this will be in an up and coming video. The improvements. I think I'm going to run it with straight links for now. Just looking to see if I could move this to the outer. That would definitely push it back a bit. Sorry guys, if it goes quiet like that, it's the brain cogs. I'll send some pics tomorrow for your YouTube contact email. Yeah, oh brilliant. That'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to have a look. There we are. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to do some bending of links for this. I don't know whether you know this, guys, but am I in the shot? I'm in the shot. If you have this set up this way with the inner shaft at the top, and then this going down to your axle, all crap and that gets in there, and then this ends up graunchy. Whereas if you run this end up to your gearbox and that end down at your axle, stuff will fall out. You do still get crap in there. I'm not going to pretend you don't, but you get less crap. Also, you have a little bit more clearance because you haven't got the big wide end down the bottom. So if you do have any interaction with the outside elements, not elements, like the rocks or whatever, yeah, you can have a little bit more clearance at the back. So long and short, we always stick the fat out a bit at the top or the highest point. So sorry again if I'm teaching grandma to suck eggs or whatever the phrase is. Purple Loctite. Hopefully I'm not showing me bits on the internet. I've got boxers on, I'm not completely stark bollock naked. Is this blue? It is. So I would normally, no, I am on. I was just going to say I would normally use purple, but I am going to use purple. I'm not just going to normally use purple. Purple Loctite M22 M222. This is the one that you want if you're going to be building, because I've got a white clean table. I'll just put a little dab on the table, and then when I'm finished, I hit it with a cloth. And with this, I suck the air down so that it's not sitting in the tube, and then lock it. And where's my rag? And then I give it a quick wipe, and that saves you ended up with a bit at the end that goes horrible. Sorry, that was a lot of information, but stuff I feel like might help people that are new to building, or maybe someone who just been building a while and didn't think about it. I am learning stuff all the time, especially from the likes of Crawler Canyon and Boom Slang Suspension. Not sure if you've ever seen his content, but he's just come up with a concept wheel. We don't crank them down, guys, because we're putting Loctite in. I'll just take that down until it stops. Boom, leave it there. They do not need to be tight. I'm assuming everybody knows about phasing, but let's just cover that as well. Phasing is when this part of the drive shaft matches the other side. So the screws at the top, that would be considered correctly phased. And if you don't have them out, you get camming, and then you introduce vibration and stuff. It's just not good for your rig. It's far more important on big go faster stuff, but it does matter here as well. We're just going to do this by hand. Well, let's get a tiny little bit of thread lock as well. Not only am I using a low tack Loctite for this, I'm also not putting a ton of it on, just enough. Am I missing any comments? No. Jolly good. Do you know, I'm really thank you so much for being here, guys. I did not think there would be a single person in the stream today because it's so beautiful outside and because of time. So what I'm doing there, I'm just checking. That's full compression. So that is as big as that gap is going to get. There you go. So that means we've got really good engagement. We'll have less. The way it was before, I can't show you, but the way it was before, we had quite a bit of the splined inner protruding. Let's get my Mando phone stand out and try and find a blaze. I've just sorted all this desk out and it already feels like it needs sorting out again. I can't do one project at a time. I always end up doing like 20 different projects. Right, I'm fiddling with this because the phone is going on charge. You're not related to Sean Locke, Oh yeah, Sprocky. Assuming that that's your second name. I just noticed the other day that comedian like he was on Countdown, wasn't he? Like the comedy version of Countdown, Sean Locke. I didn't realise he died. Cancer, poor sod. I liked him. I thought he was a funny guy. Poo flaps. That really is too tight. What's the quickest way to deal with that? So if you've got a drive shaft that you want to take out like that, the quickest way to deal with it is extract one of your link screws. We're doing this one because it doesn't really matter. No, you're not. Cool. Yeah, just undo one of the links, and that should give you enough angle to pull one end of that off. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to remove and change both ends, which is very naughty of me. I'm a very naughty boy. Let's remove all these. Let's have a look. That's definitely shorter. Oh, is that? That's not going to help though, is it? Right, again, we're just checking phasing. I don't think this is going to fix my problem because it's not this end that is the problem. No, that isn't going to help. All right, we just are going to be removing both bits. Then right, you can go in there. That's the new one. So we want. I think. Therefore, I could be wrong. Those are quite a bit different, aren't they? We might need the one in the middle, in which case we will source a different one. I think that one there might be in the middle. Nope. Right. So let's flip her over. Going from the top. No, I want to bend that way. It's basically keeping the shop, isn't it? It's basically keeping, yeah, that's it, in true balance, yeah. And there is some geometrical stuff. Like if it's off there, there's an interesting video on that boom slang where he shows you the camming effect. So it actually speeds up, even though it's classed as like this is the constant velocity joint, but it kind of is considered to be one. When there's an angle, it speeds up and slows down. So when they're in phase, they speed up and slow down at the same rate. But when they're out of phase, they don't. And then you get that stuff. Sound effects and everything, guys. Where else would you get that on a Sunday? Right. So yeah, that's the thing. And it matters. Not hugely, but it matters enough for me to make sure I don't do it. And when I used to race the Go Fast stuff, it really mattered a lot more than it does on these. I wish I had a link to the video where Boom Slang really goes into every single detail regarding it, because he did a really good job of explanating. He did a really good job of explanating that. Yeah, he explained it really well. Is that shorter? No. Right, so we could be in trouble. And it's not that big a deal because if this isn't long enough, and I'd like at least sort of that much engagement. I don't think we're going to get this. That will mean that I need to get the Dremel out and make the other part fit. And if that indeed ends up being the case, we're not doing that right now. We are not doing that right now. So I think we need to shim the front axle as well. But with one thing at a time, we're gonna get this fitted. Ah, you fluffer. Yeah, we're gonna get this fitted first. I used to build my own in real life trikes, and it does make a difference if not in balance. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can really feel it, especially on like real life stuff. Yeah, like you can't like feel it as such on a toy version. But yeah, you could notice it when I used to be hooning round I used to do 1/10 scale touring cars, and if anything was out of balance, you could tell. You couldn't feel it, but you could tell that it wasn't right. Making sure I've got the right end screwed to the right end. Right, that's that. Oh, don't think that's over, isn't it? Oh, do you know what? It might just be long enough. This is kind of awkward. Like the front end geometry on the Mias is tricky. It's not tricky. I don't know whether you guys noticed that when you built yours, but yeah, getting the stuff in, like especially with my big sausage fingers, not easy. Not easy. Rear wheel start juddering. Oh, what, on the trikes? I bet that's not a lot of fun. My mate had a trike made out of a Reliant Robin, if you know what one of them is. And my goodness, that thing was fun. Terrifying, but it was fun. I only drove it a few times, but do you drive a trike or ride a trike? There's a question. It's not bloody long enough, is it? Crap. So I think what we might be able to do is get away with switching this end out to a slightly longer one, and then I will make something fit at a later date, because all I really want to do is do it, big girl. All I really want to do is get it working. Sorry guys, all this link stuff going on out of shot here. Right, is that longer than that one? No, it's identical. That's too long. Is that shorter than that one? I bet it's going to be identical. It is. Right, okay, we can deal with that. So, let's do this bit the other way up. My goodness! Plastic Pig was my first trike. Yeah, the old like the disability vehicle. Is that what you mean by Plastic Pig? I think that's what we used to call them back in the day. I guess that's where most people start. Can you drive or ride a Plastic Pig on a car license? I think you can, can't you? If you've got a car license, because technically it's a bike, isn't it? or maybe not technically, but in all sensibility, it's a bike. I mean, it's a car. No, it's a bike. You ride it. You ride on it. So it's a bike. I know I'll get there in the end. So, yeah, there was. I remember there being like a weird idiosyncrasy. Is that the word I'm looking for? There was a weird situation regarding licensing. There we go. We got there in the end. Right, now let's have a look at that. So what I'm trying to stop it doing is bottoming the drive shaft out, because the situation we were in when the suspension was fully compressed, like it is there. No, but there's not a great deal. Oh yeah, there is some. That'll do, mate. Right, that is enough. So let's get this screwed back in. Yeah, car license gives full entitlement to ride. So I could get a trike on my car license, because I had a weird thing happen about 20 years ago where I sent my license off to the DVLA. This is a story for entertainment purposes, just in case the DVLA listening. And they sent my license back without my motorcycle, and it didn't matter at the time because I wasn't riding bikes. But they gave me heavy goods class 2. And they were just supposed to be adding a bus driving license at the time. I know, crazy. But I thought, oh, that could be really handy. So I didn't say anything. And I thought, if I want to do my bike license again, I'll just do it. Man, we've got a lot of play in this front end. That's these ball joints. Look at that. Ew. Okay, now I want to change those. Let's do that then. Happy days. Happy days. That'd be nice, turning up at like a crawler spot with a trike and with all the bits I need in the back. What have I done with them? I realise when I'm asking these questions, you're like, what are they? What do you mean, what have you done with them? I tend to think out loud a lot, if that hasn't become obvious already. There they are. Is that these? Are these they? No. So somewhere here, I've got the rod ends that I made these with. Has anybody seen what I did with those? Guys, help me out. Have I put them over? I'm slowly going crazy, and I do believe that streaming is part of that. Is part of that reason. So somewhere here, maybe if I start to put some stuff away, I will come across them. All I want is a similar length link. That's quite difficult to say. A similar length link to that I can replace. Like that would do, I think. Let's have a look. It's very unscientific what I'm doing. Yeah, that is. If that's the right width, let's get me measuring Dubry. We'll have that over there, because I'll be looking for that in a minute as well. Thanks for hanging out, Sprocky, and anybody else that's out in the chat as well. Right, that's a 7.5. That might be a tad on the tight side, but let's have a look. Let's get rid of that bloody play at the least. Are they like that there as well? It's weird. They're not like it this end. It's just in the... How did I not notice that when I was building it? Ah, even that's got play. What's the width for these? I think elements are 7. Oh no, that's 7. That can't be an element rod end. Then surely I thought the element rod ends were fitted with... I suppose that would be the other way to do it. If that fits in there... Do. Oh. You know what though? Even if it fits in there, I might not have 2 of those, so I don't want to fit that yet. Right, the right one is on the right. Remember that. That isn't it, but that might be a contender. Let's have a look. Oh no, like a willy in a shirt sleeve. Oh, come on. That was the other option, but that's shorter. Yeah. Dooby-dooby-doo. Oh, is that one? That could be one. Blimey, that's nearly 8. I wish they would just sort their shit out and give us like proprietary rod end stuff is the bane of my life. I mean, that might be overselling it slightly, but it does wind me up. Right, 7.4, 7.48. Yeah, I find it really frustrating, and I'm running low, so that's a 7.3. We're doing great here. I want either 2 7.4s or 2 7.5s. That's a 7.8 again. I don't know what they were for. I've got a load of the sizes that I use for the links that I build for you guys. Another 7.8. But the ones that I've got in this box, that's a 6.3. I bet all of those are 6.3s. Dang it. 6.3. What's this? That's a 7.5. Right, so I think let's measure this again. Oops, don't do that. Yeah, we're gonna try the 7.5s. You watch them be too tight for the element rod ends now, because not only do you have we've dropped it, but we haven't lost it. That is so lucky. Oh, it says that and then nearly loses it again. Right, that's the 2 7.5s, I think. Yeah, not only are they different width, the ball, what do you call it? The ball width is different as well. Time to get the tea cooking. Great stream. Thank you very much, Brocky. I hope your gearbox conundrum gets sorted out. And yeah, thanks for being out there. It's a lot less lonely in here than you guys are out there. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's a 7.4. Trying to like find 2 link rod ends that are at least similar in design. That's the 8. So it's a lot more organised when I'm making stuff. Oh, look, that's the one. Oh, that's a bloody... Right, we're just going to run with these 2. Hopefully they fit. They fit the element. That'll be the next problem. We might end up making front links in a minute. with all brand new bits. Oh, they're a nice fit. That's nice. So that will have tightened up that front end already a little bit. Let's get that in there. It's still got a little bit of, look, can you see it though? But there's a little bit of movement here, but look at that. That's horrible. What are you doing? And then there were two, and one of them's me. Oh well, it could be worse. There could be just one of us here. Click. Appreciate you lurking, whoever you are. I do appreciate you. So I wonder, is this another 6.3 that I had in here? Let's have a look, just out of curiosity. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's a 7. No wonder they were like willies in shirt sleeves. And this one is a 7.4. So what ball width is this? I'll just write it's a 5.6. I don't know what the element ends are. Don't know what the ball size is, but it will soon let us know if it's wrong. You have to do this without pushing all the way through and doing it on camera. There we go. So what I try to do is jam my thumb in between the pliers at the end that doesn't have a lot of pressure. Otherwise you just, that is just too much. That's too much play. That is not going to play well. Crap it. Right, let's get rid of that. None of those are any good. So I need to go through those, obviously. What do we have? We want like a 7.5. That's a 7.4. Let's give this a go. Can't be worse because it was absolutely awful. Oh, I've set it up the way that is not ideal again. Oh, that's very stiff. That ball's too tight, and I bet it would have been bloody perfect. So that is going to impact compliance. Let's drop that in there for a minute, and then we'll twiddle the front end and see how badly it's impacting it, because it has tightened up. It's tightened up the cross play that we were trying to get rid of. Oh, look at that. Absolutely brilliant. That front end is coming loose. Did I not put a lock nut? Well, that'll be why that's coming loose then. This doesn't have a lock nut. So what I did was to sort out clearance on the Mears Gold Rush with the Mears nylons, because these were, I think, they were actually intended. I think they were actually intended to have captures on from the get-go. That hasn't got a lot on it, which is why it's a bit wibbly. Oh, a lot of the play's coming from this link here, guys. Why didn't I notice that? How has that not come out? No! How did I not notice that? Yes, I did just knock the box of flipping link rod ends over. Man, that is a dustpan and brush job. I'm just going to scooch it all over to one side for a sec. Yeah, there we go. And I will get that off stream. So we need to tighten that up. That's not good. I don't know how I missed that. When I put this together, I'm sure I put a lock nut in there, but you would not know it. Oh, it was spinning because it was a Torx. That's right. That is right. No, that is right. And I can't. I've got Torx in here. I was going to say I can't get to my Torx right now, but I can because they are in here. Right, get in there, you. Where's the correct Torx bit? It may or may not be this one. Ah, so close. Must be the next one up. Which is it this one? There it is. Not bad, guys. Second one I pulled out. I bet you can't even see what I'm doing here, can you? Such a pro streamer. We've made links, in case you were wondering. We've stretched the rear out to 327-ish. We are not at the magic 330 yet, but I'm kind of happy with where we are for now. I do intend on doing a slightly longer set, but we're just waiting for some Delrin to come because I'm almost positive that I'm going to make the uppers out of Delrin for the back. But what we need to do is put it together in this configuration, then chuck it on a corner weight system, and then see what the front to back ratio's like, because we've extended, like with what we had, this was the rear lowers. It's probably a good way to represent it. This was the rear lowers, and as you can see, we're a fair bit longer. So we swapped the this was the uppers. Oh, that's not going to help then. So what we did was we put the lowers on the upper position, and then we manufactured these. Little bit of slop in the rear. Oh, that's coming from these. Don't say these are. I wonder what Mias are doing. That feels like a 7.5 gap in there. One way to find out. Let's take it apart. I don't want a sloppy back end. I just don't. At me in the comments if you know it, but I want a sloppy back end. These are 7.8. They're 7.8. I don't understand that. I really don't, because the rears, like the axles, what are the Capra axles? I've got a set of Capra axles up here, guys. Sorry, I realise I'm off camera. for a set. Oh, I can't really get to it. I've got a set on Spidey on Venom over the back there, but why would they be like 7.76? I had in the box that I knocked over, I had some around 7.8, didn't I? And oh, nearly knocked the bloody thing over again. Right. I'm just trying to get all the slop out. Right, that's the 7. That's no use at all. It was some of these. This doesn't look like one. No, that's a 7. These are all traps. A 7. That looks like a 7. So that's. Why didn't I use that one? There's a 7.5 there. I could use that in there. So 7.5 is going to have a bit of play. Oh, it's the ice cream man. The RC mummy could be arriving with a care package, an ice cream care package in a minute. Not that I need one. Let's be honest. All I could find was those big ones in it. Go, was you here when that was happening? This looks like one of the big ones. I don't understand this. Like I was looking for 7.3s and 4s, and that's all I can find now. Hello. Sorry, I apologise. Reedy? Is that Reedy, I'll say? Already? Spelt differently? So I do apologise if you said hello ages ago. I'm having an existential crisis related to links at the moment. All I could find a minute ago in this thing, in this tub, was 7.8s. And I was looking for 7.4s. And now all I can find is 7.4s. How is that even possible? That's a 6.4. That's gone the other way. I mean, I knocked it over and a few hit the deck, but that can't have been all. Oh, there we go. Look, we got a 7.9. So are we going to be able to squeeze a 7.9 in there? And of course, the answer to that question is no. Have they made this proprietary? I mean, I guess I could just switch the skid out. No. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Looks like I missed Ready RC or Reedy. Reedy RC. Saying hello. Dang it. Bugger it. I don't know what I'm going to do about that because I'm not going to have that amount of slop in there, guys. I'm just not. Right, that cable goes towards the back. We attach that back there. What we're going to do about that? That is like a prick in a shirt sleeve. We can't do that, guys. We just can't be doing that. So that is going to have to go. So let's at least switch that out for something a little bit more or a little bit less stupid. No problem. I'm late joining. Late. I don't know if I would say you were late joining, but it's all good. I appreciate you being there. So what we're going to do is throw that across the works. We're just going to throw that there. We're going to find one of the many. Do you remember, like 30 seconds ago, when I was looking for 7.4s, and it was all I picked up was 7.4, 7.4. All right, we got one. I'm going to stop complaining because I found it pretty quickly. I thought the universe was going to go on, now find a 7.4. But it didn't. So this should tighten that up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the less jiggle, the better. I don't want it jiggling too much. I like my women jiggling and my rigs not. I thought I was going to come up with a catchphrase there, but it got away from me. So I'm probably going to end up using these in another build at some point, because with the bending, there is an online calculator for working this stuff out, but you can tell it your eye to eye. Sorry if the mic was a bit noisy there, just adjusting it. You give it the eye to eye distance and tell it this is what I want, and then you can work out what rod ends you're going to use and everything. And it will also tell you how many degrees. I think you enter the amount of degrees bend you're putting in it and where you're putting it in on the shaft, and then it will tell you how long this needs to be before. I'm making a terrible job of explaining this. Yeah, it tells you where it needs to be, or how long it needs to be before you bend it. Yeah, I did it. I made a terrible job of that. Yeah, so that's how that works. Trying to tighten it up. So we're just going to put a slightly tighter ball in this because that was excessive slop by any definition. Right, so we need to find another 7.4. I've just heard the internal door go in the building. Is that the RC mummy with ice cream for the RC daddy? We'll find out in a minute. That's 7. I'm taking them out and I'm putting them back in the container, which probably isn't helping. That is a 735. I'm going to hold that in my hand and keep looking. And we're going to hold out. Oh, that one's 792. That's going to be too big. 7. Oh, look, there's them big ones. That's a 7.9, that one. Massive. I need to go through those. There we go, 736. That's what we're going to settle with. It will be better than it was, which is steps in the right direction. Now I'm going to have to remeasure this just to make sure those can go in there. I'm going to have to remeasure this just to make sure. Yeah, 734 is not what we were looking for, but it'll do. It's closer. So you didn't miss much, Ready. Is it Ready or Reedy? It reminds me of the way Reedy was spelt, except Reedy Racing was spelt with a Y, wasn't it? Yeah, it's going to be better. It's going to be better. It's not going to be great. Yeah, so we've manufactured these beautiful links, which, if you didn't know, that's one of the things I do. We have an internet shop being built. I make links for TRX4s and UTB18s and custom builds. If somebody wanted a custom set of links, I would be able to take that on and do it. But yeah, so that's what we were doing today. Somehow this build, when I originally made it, was supposed to be around 325 millimeters. There we go. What's that? The pinion angle is absolutely spectacular. Yeah, sorry, you guys can't see that. So I'm just looking down there at the pinion angle. I'm really happy with that. We need to deal with this aerial cable, and what we do is, when we've found the zip ties, I've had those zip ties out this afternoon. They could be anywhere. There they are. I've got a load. I was making a strap for the headphones, and then I decided it was a terrible idea. So let's use the Nipex. If we cut that one off, hang on. No, they're too big. We want some small zip ties, runny zip tie, and an aerial together. So yeah, we just want to temporarily, because I think I am going to end up doing Delrin uppers, but we'll have a look at the weight. If the weight is good, unless we're like over 63, we'll go ahead and we'll do the Delrin uppers, and then if after doing that I feel like I need a little bit more weight, we could just drop some brass on the rear knuckles. Mias do sell brass for all of their portal rigs. I've got the brass diff cover on here already. But you know, Spidey's quite a light rig, despite the fact that we run in all of the available brass on the front axle and almost all the available brass on the rear. Spidey's all-in weight was, because we've just added brass lowers and we've added length to the brass. Yeah, Spidey was about 2,300 grams all up weight. So not a super light rig by any stretch of the imagination, but not heavy either. So links will go in the link box. That's for my building jig. We're almost at the stage where we can put Spidey back together, I think. Have I forgotten to do anything? Can anybody think of anything I forgot? I've done everything up. We've got as much slack out of the rear. That isn't perfect, and it seems like a lot of it is coming from this ball here. The rears are good. The front has definitely tightened up. I'm pretty happy with what we got done today. Obviously, the suspension doesn't need any work. Little flex there. Sorry, guys. I'm rather pleased with how that's been working. Right, we need a set of wheels and tyres, and I think for now we're just going to be popping these back on. These are Spidey's everyday wheels and tyres. They are the Endura S5 Klingon. Team Revolt 3D printed inserts. I keep these bags, guys, because it's a nice way to keep your tyres in good nick. Oh, Venom's fell off his perch. Sorry, chap. There you go. You can win Venom. In case anybody was wondering, you can win Venom in a raffle that we've got coming up. It ends on the 31st of July. The tickets are massively undersold. There was 1,500 tickets available, and we've sold about 520 paid tickets. So somebody is going to get the absolute bargain of a lifetime. I'm just trying to remember, these are asymmetrical. Right, that's the fronts. So we've got brass in the rear. That's like a 14. a 14 width in the rear. So we got brass in the centre, but there's not a lot of weight to these wheels. Let's get them on the scales quickly, and I'll tell you exactly how much they weigh, just in case anybody's interested. So the rears are 169, 69 low, and the fronts are 183. So only a tiny little bit of weight in the wheels, but it's enough. It's enough, and we've got 22 mil. 22, yeah. I've got 22 mil hubs, brass hubs in there as well, so it pushes the front out. We've got a nice wide front. This is like a compy setup where there's a bit less width in the rear for getting through gates and that. And I've got to be honest, if I had a set of 12, put the nut in the driver. If I had a set of 22s, another set of 22s, I would be fitting them to the rear of this as well, and we would just have a nice wide setup. But I don't like exposing too much. Oh, she's binding a little bit. Something's rubbing. Since when has that been a thing? All right. I must have. Have I got a bent pin? Is that? It never rains, but it pours. I have no idea why that started to do that. Maybe when I fitted the other wheels, something shifted. Don't know. It's a little bit frustrating though. So, with a decent nylock, you do not need to crank down on your wheels. As long as you've got a new or relatively new nylock nut, and I don't even use the flanged ones, guys. I buy the cheapest chips. I have bought all the coloured ones and stuff, and for a special build, I will still use something a little bit fancy. But for day-to-day stuff, I just use the cheap, generic M4 wheel nuts without the flange on the back on the Mears nylon portals, because the stub is on the shorter side. So we're getting no binding at all on that one. I love the look of these wheels, like because of Spidey's colouring. I just think the wheels go really well with the shell, and then there's the blue accents for the Spider-Man suit and whatnot. I'm just a big kid, really, aren't I? I think we all are to a degree. Just some people are more happy to admit it. Like if anybody, especially like if a woman's trying to make me feel bad about oh, by the way, the RC mummy doesn't, she's fantastic like that, but if a woman's trying to be all like a bit of a bitch about it, not a bit of a bitch, but like a woman's trying to be funny, like, oh yeah, he plays with his toys, his toy cars, I'm like, yeah, I will literally say I'm off out to play with my toy cars, get over it. Right, if that's the length that we end up going with, the pumpkin is still within the chassis rails at that length, which means we should be legal for comping in that configuration. Let's have a look. What I want to do is just get Spidey's bits back together and have a little look just to see if it feels different or if it looks different. Like, can I tell that he's longer in the rear? And spoilers, I can already tell. I can already tell. Wow. So all of that time, I was running around 215, I think. Oh, right. Houston, we have a problem. So because I'm running his lowers, which were double bend, it means that the shell doesn't sit down far enough to go on properly because it's hitting the body there. All right, so I'm just not going to bolt the body down for now. And we are going to, I guess, be making some, what do you call it, some Delrin uppers for this bad boy. Let's get my phone charger lead out of the way. And let us reach through the shirt. Sorry about the reaching through. Oh, could be worse. Could be worse. Oh my goodness, I'm dropping everything. Knocking me signs down. There we go. Right, we're going to get the corner weight system out. This is going to be interesting because we are going to need to pop a battery in. So some of you will have noticed that I do have available the battery position for bit. I'm capable of running the battery on the chassis, but what you may not have noticed is that there is a piece of carbon in here. Where are my batteries? Oh, over the back. There we go. Put that up there. Well, let's just throw the Avonic in there. This is the heaviest. It's not the battery that I use all the time, though, is it? Oh, which reminds me, I've left my batteries in my camera bag from when I was filming. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I did that. Right, so yeah, what you may or may not know is that I've created a mounting situation in here between the very long quick run fusion and the AK-70. So underneath there, I've got like a little carbon plate that allows me to run this battery in there. Tiny little Z650. Get a ton of run time on them. And if I want to run more, I'll just take more batteries, switch it out. But really good. But we are switching to another battery very shortly as well, and I'll talk more about that in the actual video. But look out for that. Hobby King reached out to me and said, would you like to try out our new Bolt X batteries? And I said, well, I'll have a look and see if there's any that will fit the builds. And first impressions, very good. They do a HV battery, high voltage. So I will need to chat away. Sorry if I miss any comments for a sec, guys, but I'm opening the Sky RC Gears app. Allow corner weight system. Just waiting for it to sync up and then hit enter. Oh, it's so let's let it settle. Right, so what I've done, I've zeroed it. So I'm wondering if it'll give us the minus numbers. Yeah, so it's exactly the same. So, all right. So it's gone 61.39. So that's worked out really, really nicely. Corner weight, we've got 52.48 and 51.49. Do you know what we are going to do? We're just going to reset it very quickly, and we'll do it with the plus weights because I don't want to introduce any jankiness. There we go. So we've just reset it, guys. Trying to be clever, doing it all in minus land. So you have to let the vehicle settle. Yeah. So as you can see, the numbers were pretty good. We've picked up some weight. Wow, we've picked up some weight. Not quite sure where we picked. Oh, we did add a titanium bumper to it since the last weighed it. 3D printed inserts. We've added brass links to the rear. Oh, we have changed the gearbox configuration. Maybe this gearbox configuration is a little bit warmer. Sorry, guys, I haven't even got that on the screen, have I? So there you go. The front weight is 1576. The rear weight is 989. The total all up weight is 2565. We've got a pretty good left to right and not a bad cross weight either. That cross weight is pretty good. So right now, I don't feel like I need to do anything, but because of the body fitting issue that we've got from using the rear lowers as uppers, means that we are definitely going to be making some Delrin rears, and that what I imagine will drop the overall weight, but it will shift that front rear bias by maybe 2%. I reckon we'll end up around 63.37, which is fine. Spidey's going to run pretty well like that. Let me put you guys full screen. Actually, let's close the other apps out and turn Bluetooth off, because that would be optimal. So I'm pretty happy with the cross weights and the front to rear biases, and I think we're in a good place now. I'd like to take Spidey back to the secret garden, and there are a couple of lines that have been defeating me. And I'm going to do it in this config. I'm just going to absolutely 100% use it exactly the way it is there. I'm not going to bend the links. I'm not going to do the Delrin uppers or anything like that yet. I am going to be... Let's just pop those there for a sec. Yeah, I'm just going to be running it exactly as it is. One of the climbs really, really does require... Where's the tipping point? That there. But that's with an unloaded front. We either need desert lizards or we need a new band in the front. We've got a low shock tower. No, it was an optical illusion. Yeah, this band has seen better days. So that's how I pop the battery in and out of there, guys. Nice and simple. Yeah, this is like your nan's hoo-ha. It's kind of lost all of its elasticity. There's a gross analogy. I think that's it. I'm probably going to think of 20 jobs that I can do that would have kept the stream going, but I don't just want a filibuster. We made the links. Maybe I can do a video of me doing the bends when I get round to doing that. And if I do, I will share that with you guys. But there they are. There's the rear brass lowers. Can't imagine they weigh a lot. Trying to think. That I guess I reckon these links are about 80 grams. So that has added a little bit to the back, but because we've extended it, we've pushed the bulk of the weight forward, which is why our numbers haven't suffered greatly. That's it. Because we've got such great steer angle on the mirrors, and we've got 20%, 28% OD-ish in the drivetrain and the gearbox. I'm not worried that we're a bit longer. I don't think that's going to negatively impact our ability to turn. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you. I see you out there. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you all again shortly in another video. And if you're around for that, then thank you again. Remember, guys, no matter the question, love is always the answer. Bye for now.